Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. 2 months ago, I was in Taiwan, and my very last day of the trip, I hit it really big with a girl that I had met online, and I went out with her the very last day of the trip, and then the next day I had to fly out of Taiwan. I was so heartbroken. But you know what? Thank God it happened in Taiwan. Over in Taiwan, there's more of a community culture. And so when I went back to the hostel and I shared it with my roommates felt a lot of sympathy for me. And now looking back at it, my roommates helped me pack up my bags, and I had to take a train from the hostel to the airport really early the next morning. And my roommates were up with me, and they told me, you've had enough during this trip, a death in the family, and then this heartbreak situation. They didn't want to see me suffer any more than I had to, and so that was good. And so I took the train to the airport. I don't remember how I flew home because I was so heartbroken. Somehow I made it back to Phoenix. And unfortunately, ever since coming back to the United States, that has not been the experience that have run into. I've already had two bad experiences that contrast to that. First, I also hit it kind of big, not romantically big, but I did make a close friend with a girl in Houston, Texas. And while I was in Houston, I made the mistake of staying in a hostel. I was thinking it would be similar to hostel life in Taiwan. Here in the United States, a hostel was kind of like a halfway house, right? And uh, I did not do very well. My last day of the trip, one of my roommates, I was already heartbroken. It was 3, 4 in the afternoon. I climbed up into my bunk bed to kind of ball up because I was so heartbroken. My roommate comes barking in the room, shouting with the kind of attention that he's going to tear up the room, saying that somebody had left their coat on their favorite chair. And I got up to move it. I said, I'm going to move it, but could you please keep the energy level down? I'm really dealing with a heartbreak situation. You know what happened? As soon as he realized what I was dealing with, he did his best to try to aggravate that even more. And long story short, I wanted to kill him. I really did. And that was not an isolated circumstance. That happens all too much in the United States, even among people that I know and trust. Right? I have to be careful what I tell my colleagues. Here's the most tragic part of the whole thing. I didn't even tell my colleagues what I went to Houston to do, because as soon as my colleagues hear any of this, first of all, they're going to hear that we didn't click, right, in terms of romances, right? We're still good friends, but we didn't click romantically. Oh my God, can you imagine the amount of kicking when you were down that would happen in the workplace, or the rumor mills and all that? I really wish it didn't play out like that. I want to share life's positive moments. A friendship that didn't click into romance, that's not a negative experience. I wish I could share it. I really do. I just got into a serious altercation with my roommate over something very similar. I teach at Glendale Community College, and there's a student in a different department, and we really clicked. And one afternoon, she actually came over to the engineering lab. She was thinking about pivoting her studies into engineering. We had a really good conversation, and so I felt a sense of closeness. I don't think it's romance, but I felt a sense of closeness. But after I got home from that day, I was exhausted. Not only did I teach 2 classes, but I also had this mentally draining interaction with a girl. And when I got home, I just wanted to bury my head in, I have a favorite brand of frozen pizza, Amy's. I just wanted to bury my head in that. And when my roommate's really chatty, he came over to talk about something that he had done today. I said, could you please give me some space? I had a long day today. I didn't tell him about the girl. I simply said a long day. As soon as he heard that, he used it against me, and he got me all riled up. I hate to say what happened because it's still an ongoing conflict, but this is the kind of stuff that makes me want to check out of the United States. Most people in other first world countries have the sense that we can all go up together or we can all go down together, right? It's not how do I fight you, right? All right. These two people really deserve to go to hell. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.